Hey, this is Ryan with the first of hopefully many questions in this Q&A series I'm calling weask.tv. I'm going to call this Q1, and the first question comes from Rinker in Florida. Rocky is a lawyer in the St. Pete area. You can find out more information about him at rockyrinker.com. So let's go ahead and take a look at the question he sent me. Rocky said, I have a friend who has a law practice here in Pinellas County. He selected his new office location because his web guy told him that a particular zip code would yield better SEO results than the zip code he was in. Is this a legitimate analysis point, or is this modern mythology? I asked because we are considering relocating to 33713, but wanted to see if the change in zip code would have negative impact on our web efforts. Thanks for any education you can give me on this, Rocky. So we'll take a look at the specific zip codes that Rocky brought up just as an example. But to answer the first part of his question, yes, physical location and proximity does matter for SEO or search engine optimization, or just organic rankings in Google and other search engines. So this is a legitimate point that this web guy brought up to a friend of his. Choosing a physical location for business is always important because you want to be in close proximity to your target market. But in this case, we're talking about SEO and Google search results, and it is important for that, and I'm going to show you why. So Google stated recently that nearly 1/3 of all mobile searches have local intent. So that means when people are doing a search, they're including some kind of local keyword like St. Pete or Tampa Bay or a lawyer near me or something like that. It's even getting so far, people are getting so used to the fact that Google delivers great local results that they're not even putting in those local phrases like St. Pete or Tampa. They're actually just typing in something like lawyer or dentist, because they know when they type that in, Google has the ability to tell where they are based on their phone location or recent searches, and they're going to show them local results. So basically, along with other things that Google is taking over, they're also taking over local search. I mean, when's the last time you had one of those thick yellow books delivered to your doorstep? Or I barely remember the days of calling 411 to find someone's number or the number of a business. Those days are obviously long gone. So people are definitely using smart devices, and Google especially, to get local results. So the bottom line for you as a local business owner is you want to keep that in mind. So a big question is, how should this affect how you choose a physical location? And the bottom line is you want to be in close proximity to your target market and your customers. So if you're targeting a specific city like St. Pete, you don't want to have your business location 20 miles north and then try to target the people in that city. Because Google's going to use proximity of the business as a ranking factor. And obviously I know people can't just pick up and move their business to a different location. It's not that easy, but I just want to make sure everybody knows an answer to this question is that it is a factor. So if we take a look at a study that Moz did, Moz is a popular SEO blog and authority. If we look at this 2018 local search ranking factors study that they did, you can look under the section that says local pack finder ranking factors, and local pack is the map that shows up. So if you do a search with local intent, you're going to see the map with the listings and then the points on the map that show where those businesses are located. So what this study is showing is the factors that affect ranking on that local pack. So if you see on their study, Google My Business signals and proximity are the largest factor in this. So that means that your proximity to the person doing the search is a huge factor in whether or not or how high you're going to show in those results. And for those of you who don't know, Google My Business is the service you use to get a free listing to list your business in Google, in their directory, so that it'll show up in those map results. So the other side of this study shows localized organic ranking factors. So that's not the map, but it's just the organic results that show up when someone does a search with local intent. And there's other things that show up higher, but you'll notice that Google My Business signals and proximity are still one of the top ranking factors. So to summarize, the first part of this question is yes, this is something you should consider as a business owner, and you basically want to be in close proximity or as close as you can be to your target market just to show up when they're searching for you, or to show up higher when they're searching for you. So let's use the second part of Rocky's question where he's asking about the specific zip codes as an example. That might help some of you make this decision. So Google is going to get your location info from your Google My Business listing that I just mentioned earlier. So that is the free listing you get from Google where you can input your business information, including your address. So that's the number one factor in Google finding your location. They can also get your address information from your website and then kind of match those two together to kind of pinpoint where your business is located. So here's Rocky's local listing as an example, just to show you what they look like. They probably look familiar to you. So his current zip code is 33701, and he asked about moving his zip code to 33713. So if we look at a map, you can see his current location is right in downtown St. Petersburg. I don't know the area too well, but that does look like a good location for proximity to the St. Petersburg area. So the zip code he asked about moving to, or is considering moving to, is just a few miles northwest, it looks like. So in this case, I would say making that move is not a huge deal. It's probably not going to affect your rankings in your proximity to St. Pete too much because this new zip code is still a St. Petersburg address. Now, if Rocky were to ask about moving to Clearwater, which is probably about 20 miles north, I would say that's a pretty big move. That's probably going to negatively affect your ability to rank for people who are searching for attorneys in St. Petersburg. So every situation is going to be different when you're looking at different cities and zip codes. But in general, that's kind of how I would look at it. So that's my answer to this question. Rocky, thanks for the good question. I hope you find that answer helpful, and I hope others do as well. I do plan on keeping these videos short and sweet. And I do plan on bringing in other experts to these videos just to help me answer these questions, because I hope I have a lot of answers, but I don't have all the answers. So comment below if you have specific questions about this video, and then make sure to check out my blog post that I'm going to post as well, where I'm going to expand on this question, probably present some other related information that's going to help you out as well. So make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the future Q&A videos. And if you have a question, go ahead and submit it at weask.tv, and I make it really easy. You can submit it in text, audio, and video form. And just a hint, I probably will use the audio and video questions more just to make them more interesting. So go ahead and submit a question there, and maybe I'll feature you on one of the upcoming videos. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks.